Welcome back to our Subnautica 2023 survival series. I'm Black Cat Red River. Last time we did a little bit of base building and some organizing and prep work to prepare for the salvage operation into the Aurora wreck. This time we're going to actually go into the Aurora, but the essential tools you need for this, to do this properly in one go, are the repair tool, the laser cutter, the propulsion cannon. You should bring your survival knife and a scanner as well. Those are basically essential. Optional but very valuable things to bring. Couple extra batteries, 3, maybe 4 fire extinguishers, 3 water bottles, 3 cured fish, cured peepers or better, and 2 or 3 med kits. Those are valuable additions because the wreck, the Aurora, is a very large wreck and you can be in there for quite a while, particularly if it's your first time. So making sure you're supplied well and you only have to make 1 trip, 2 trips maximum if you want to go back for extra loot. Is important. On the way, you can jump into this floating life pod here, get the creature decoy recipe, get an extra first aid kit. But it's very easy to find the Aurora. You just you just head towards it, and then we're going to want to angle up towards the northern side of it, looking for an opening in the side. We don't want to go too far north. We don't want to go past the Aurora. There is a Reaper Leviathan up there. If you go too far, it will be attracted to you. So you don't want to go too far. Just look for the opening on the side of the ship here that you can bring your Seamoth into.
Lifeform readings in this region are sparse. The Aurora's radioactive fallout will have devastating effects on the alien ecosystem if not contained within the next 24 hours.
Now, as always, park your Seamoth at least maybe 10 meters off of the wreckage. Don't go too close to the wreckage. You can get your Seamoth stuck there and be unable to retrieve it. I've learned that the hard way. So try not to make that mistake. Then you'll be forced to make a second Seamoth. These land crabs, or cave crawlers as they're called, are a bit of an annoyance. That's what I bring the knife for, to fend them off, kill a couple maybe. Because they can injure you badly enough to kill you if you're not careful. That's why I bring extra med kits just in case. And here you need your propulsion cannon to clear the opening here, to get into one of these areas in the Aurora. There's multiple places you can access the Aurora, but this is one of them. And there's a few places where the propulsion cannon is not just a bonus, but essential. Now, there are a few places in the Aurora like this where you can pick up extra fire extinguishers. I like to bring a couple extras because they can run out, and until you get proficient at using them, you can use them up faster than you need to. But this ensures that you will have more than you need to put out a few of these fires like this. There's PDA tablets strewn about the Aurora that have access codes to various rooms in them. So for example, this one here contains the password to go into the laboratory that's below us. You don't have to remember any of these passwords as long as you're collecting the PDAs as you go. You just check in here under, I think there's a section for codes and clues. Yeah, section there for codes and clues, lab access. So there you go. You can just click on that. You get your door code there, 6483, and you can unlock the laboratory underneath us. Now, unlocking this one I find really frustrating and difficult because of the motion of the water. It causes you to click the wrong the wrong button on the keypad. So I've sometimes been here, multiple times. I've had to erase it and start again, and it's really kind of frustrating. And you're running out of oxygen as you do it. And there doesn't seem to be a way to steady yourself. Like you're constantly going up and down, and there doesn't seem to be a way to stabilize yourself so that you can enter the keypad numbers properly. So very annoying. But you have to kind of keep going and keep trying it until you get it right. Now, there's some cool stuff in this lab. You can, in addition to your data downloads that you can get, there's lab equipment that you can get that's mostly just decorative. Mostly just decorative items in here. Like there is a microscope or something, an analyzer, test tubes or beakers of various kinds, right? Like that microscope there. It takes up a fair bit of space, so I'm not going to pick up any of that right now. I might come back later on when I'm ready to actually put a kind of decorative lab or office in my base. But there's some items to scan if you haven't already found them, like I think the desk and counter and stuff like that you can get. Mostly coming in here right now just for the data downloads. But don't forget to go over to this side and use your laser cutter to go through that other door. Just be mindful of your oxygen levels. Now, I'm just coming in here for this data download. That's the main reason I'm coming in here, the Aurora black box data. But you can go up through the ceiling in this room into a different area or a different way in to the Aurora. You can do that. I don't particularly like that route. I find it's kind of dangerous. Maybe that's just me, but my preferred way in to the rest of the Aurora is a different route from the outside, but that's probably a matter of preference. The other entrance into the Aurora interior is a little further away, a little trickier to find in some ways. And you got to dodge a lot of cave crawlers along the way. But for the most part, you can just kind of sidestep the cave crawlers, try to avoid them, run past them. For the most part, you can do that. And then once you get up this hill here, there are some little equipment supply boxes you can raid. Usually they'll have batteries, water, food, or med kits in them. So this is where you start to be able to find supplies that are useful to you. So you can check them all out. The longer you take to do it, the more likely you'll get bitten by a cave crawler. But you can do it fairly fast and then move on. And then you come up to this ramp here. Come down the ramp carefully, try not to fall off. Get onto here, turn left, and then go towards that fire. So there's a supply chest you can open up. There's an extra fire extinguisher on the ground. And then get to this point here. You could probably squeeze past this fire. You don't have to put it out. But I have brought a lot of extra fire extinguishers with me. And it'll, the more fire you put out, the less likely you'll take some fire damage squeezing past them. Now up here and to the left is the entrance to the cargo bay, and there is a fragment from a propulsion cannon sitting here, which I guess is the clue that you're going to need a propulsion cannon to get into the cargo bay. But I like to come with my propulsion cannon already made, so that I don't have to leave again and finish finding the blueprints and make that item and then come back. It saves you, one or more trips if you just come with all of that.
It's like you now. It doesn't like being told what to do.
Drone, I know...
His name's Albert now.
Albert, I know it's not your fault, but it would really help me do my job if you bring me what I asked for. Thanks for your time.
Propulsion cap retrieved.
Thank you. Now go away.
Entering hibernation mode.
Boss, this hobby of yours isn't making my job any easier. Or safer.
Maybe so, but it's all that's stopping me from being so bored I take a spacewalk in my skivvies.
Aurora systems are running on local reserve power, unable to remotely download black box data. New blueprint acquired. Integrating new PDA data. Integrating new PDA data.
So this is the office here that you get the password for access to the cargo bay itself. Again, you can go to your codes and clues section of your own PDA and you can find the cargo bay code right in there.
Scans of damage to the Aurora do not match any known offensive technologies. Integrating new PDA data.
Nice, Cyclops engine fragment. I think different fragments, there's sort of a random element to what might spawn in this cargo bay here. Sometimes you'll get multiple things, sometimes you'll get pretty much nothing.
Integrating new PDA data.
This Seamoth workshop here, Bay 1, I guess it's Bay 1 and Bay 2, they always have Seamoth fragments, and they always have that Mark I depth module, which allows your Seamoth to go a further 100 feet or 100 meters deeper, down to 300 meters. So it's definitely worth popping in here and grabbing the depth module. You do have to watch for these blood-sucking parasites, and I think, well, the only way I've figured out how to get rid of them is to use your knife and whack them until they come off. You can kill them, but there's a lot of them down here in the waters. So keep your knife on your hot bar and get ready to use it, because if you don't attend to them quickly, they will injure you quite seriously.
The dry portion sustained internal damage during collision. Do not attempt repair without appropriate qualifications.
Now, this is the engine core area that was ruptured and is spewing radiation out. You don't have to go in and repair this thing, immediately, but it's advisable to do it. It's not that difficult a task if you've brought your repair tool, and it will solve some of your radiation hazard issues. So getting it done and out of the way is a good idea.
Warning, local radiation at maximum tolerable level. Containment breach repaired. Further breaches detected. 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 Containment breach repaired. Further breaches detected.
And this is one of the reasons why you want to bring a couple extra med kits, because there are a few hazards here between the cave crawlers and these blood-sucking whatever they are, and the fire hazards. There are a lot of things that can damage you. So yeah, you definitely want to bring a couple med kits, even though you can find some here in the Aurora. Having a little bit of extras handy is not a bad idea.
Containment breach repaired. Further breaches detected. Containment breach repaired. Further breaches detected. Containment breach repaired. Further breaches detected. Drive core breach sealed. Radiation levels decreasing. Integrating new PDA data. Integrating new PDA data.
You want to make sure you get both of those PDA data downloads in this locker room, because one of them has the passcode to get into the next area. And here we have the prawn bay, which is where you can get your guaranteed prawn suit blueprints. There's enough fragments in here to get a guaranteed suit blueprint. There's also, I believe, at least one upgrade module that you can get here as well. If you look for it carefully.
New blueprint acquired.
There's so a free storage module that you can put in your either your Seamoth or your prawn suit to give inventory space to carry additional stuff. Now here also is, I think, the last place in the Aurora that you need your propulsion cannon to get access to another area, and that is the residential wing of the Aurora, or part of the residential wing, up here. So you got to clear this ramp in order to get up there. So this is the third place that I know about, at least, where the propulsion cannon is, if not absolutely essential, it's pretty important.
Integrating new PDA data.
Now, if you picked up all of the PDA devices in the previous areas, like the locker room, you should have the passcode into cabin 1 that's listed here.
New blueprint acquired. New blueprint acquired.
These little carry-all bags are kind of cool. There's a fair number of them in this residential area, but they take up a lot of space. So I probably will only end up bringing back one at most on this trip.
New blueprint acquired. New blueprint acquired. Integrating new PDA data. Integrating new PDA data.
Now, the captain's quarters is the one place you don't actually get a passcode for from somewhere in the Aurora, which can be frustrating if you're not aware of that. I spent a lot of time searching for PDA or data downloads that might contain that information. The first time I came in here, and I couldn't find it. But don't worry about that. You get that information later on from your radio. So you can, I'm going to be making a second trip anyway because I can't carry all the little knickknacks and decorative items that I want to bring back, posters and so on and so forth. So I'll come back another time when I do actually have the captain's quarters code already in my database.
Integrating new PDA data.
The main treasure, apart from the blueprints that you get here, in my opinion, is all the batteries that you can find, because I've found a lot of them, and to me that's kind of like gold because of all the copper that's required to make those. So that's why I'm prioritizing all those batteries. I think I brought 1 or 2 extra ones with me and picked up a lot in here. So that's the main loot that I'm going to be taking home with me. Now I'm just leaving a few supplies for my potential future return trip here. And because it'll be worth coming back for all these nutrient blocks as well at some point. I don't believe there is a crafting recipe for you to be able to make those yourselves. I wish there was. So those are a bit like gold as well, because you can't really get those. So I'll probably come back and pick up some of them as well. Okay, I think that's probably all I'm going to do on this first trip into the Aurora. Haul back what we found so far, and call that an episode once we're back home and settled in. a successful first run.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Now let's add our upgrades so that we can carry more stuff in our Seamoth. And increase our crush depth to 300 meters.
Passing 100 meters. Oxygen efficiency decreased.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
This is Lifepod 4. We've landed close to the Aurora. Flotation device is active, but we've got some big old fish in the water with us, and I don't know how long we're gonna last. We're close to the crash site, so bring radiation protection. 4 out.
Signal coordinates corrupted. Approximate transmission origin recorded to data bank.
I'm just going to store all these semi-used or dead batteries, either for crafting later on or for when I finally get the battery charger built and can actually recharge them. Okay, this looks like a good place to wrap up our episode. We're coming up on an hour here. We've managed to do a bunch of things, get our prawn suit blueprints, explore the Aurora. Yeah, I think that's probably a good place to end things, with a little bit of inventory management, and we'll see you next episode. Until then, safe travels.